Hello everyone, it is I, Deimos, and welcome back to the channel. I wish all of you a happy new year and good luck in all your matches, raids, and encounters this year. Speaking of raids, let's talk a little bit about Dark and Darker. In my previous video on the game, I listed some ideas and changes that I thought would be really good for the game and hope to see them in the next playtest. My biggest suggestions were item rotation, buying and selling multiple items, and rogues having some sort of delay so they can't stab you out of their invisibility. Well, a few days ago, there was actually a dev Q&A in the Dark and Darker Discord server, and we actually got some answers and insight on what the devs are thinking. To prevent this from being a super long video, I'm first going to cover the answers that the devs shared on my own suggestions from my last video, and then I'm going to go into speaking on the changes that I think are going to have the most impact on the game. So let's start with the good news. The devs are going to be adding the ability for us to buy and sell multiple items at once with a high priority, so that's a huge quality of life win, so we might actually see that in the next playtest. Now let's get on with the rest of it. Starting with the item rotation, we got a not yet response and basically nothing else, indicating that this is probably a very low priority issue for the devs and I would not expect this anytime soon. Next up, we have the stash size increase. This will be something that doesn't come until much later, and I knew that when I brought it up, but for those who are very interested in this, the devs are working on it and they want to do it at some point, but they're still at the drawing board, so I would not expect this anytime soon. In regards to our balancing suggestions, we didn't get anything involving the rogue or the fighter perks, but we did learn something a little crazy, and that's that rangers are going to have spells. This was not in the last playtest, but this is some crazy information, and we're really going to have to keep an eye on this and see where it goes. If you're enjoying the video, be sure to like and sub, it helps out a ton, thanks everybody. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Anyone interested in a replay mode, I've got some news for you, and that is that the devs do agree it would be nice, but they don't have any plans on incorporating even a teammate spectating it, so we'll really have to wait on that. And this is also where I really want to remind everyone that the game is still very early in its development. A lot of these features take a very long time to design, test, and implement, so let's just make sure that we're patient and give them time to actually grant our wishes. Moving on to the classes and balancing, as I said, rangers are supposed to have spells, so they want to use some sort of artifact system, but they said this is going to take some time, so I would not expect this anytime soon either. They do want druids that can change into animals, necromancers or something similar, and even possibly monks in the game as classes. We do know that the next class added is going to be a bard, which I imagine will be more of a supporting class, and they also want to add more fantasy races and customization, but this is obviously going to take a lot of time. They didn't say next playtest, but quests are going to be coming in a very early version, so I would expect those sooner rather than later. They want to test armor and weapon durability, add loads more maps and bosses, including a dragon boss, and they also said they're very interested in letting players fly, whatever that means. Finally, the one you've all been waiting for, solo queue. They want to test it more, but at least this can possibly ease your mind if you're waiting on a solo mode that it might actually be coming eventually. If you want to see all the topics discussed, I'll link a Google Doc below where you can see it all, and I hope you're all as excited as I am for Dark and Darker. What's your favorite change, and what is something that you want to see changed? Let me know down below. Like, sub, and have a wonderful day. It's been Deimos, and I'll see all of you guys next time.